Were making loud and clear to me, I became a vegan and began practicing plant-based medicine in 1981. My body responded beautifully to my own vegan diet. 20-pound spare tire of fat melted off my waist. My high cholesterol came down. My high blood pressure came down. I felt great waking up in a nice, lean, light body. And so I brought that plant-based truth to my medical practice, and for the past 35 years have been using plant-based medicine to get my patients truly healthy. And as a result, I'm the happiest doctor I know, because my patients get healthier, my colleagues.
The country, and the families, they make their own food, and they use fortified soya milk, and they use fortified nutritional yeast, and they have good knowledge of nutrition. So the researchers went to this place and measured for a long time the weights and heights and how these children were growing from 4 months to 10 years. And as you can see in the growth chart, and then they compare with the normal US growth charts with the references from the rest of the country. So if you see the growth charts in females and males, most of the weights and heights were between the 25th and the 75th percentile, so were within the normal range for the same population. The mean, or the median, was slightly below the average of the population, but very, the difference was minimal, and it was especially in younger ages. When they reached the age of 8, 11, or 11, they were growing in the same way. So they concluded that these children growing with this kind of diet were growing well, were developing well, and there were not major concerns about them.
An edema, and it's not functioning very well. And as you can imagine, if you have Crohn's disease, it has a huge impact on your quality of life, because you're living on a daily basis with symptoms like diarrhea and weight loss and abdominal pain, and what we health professionals call failure to thrive. It's no surprise that among people with Crohn's disease, there are high levels of work absenteeism and school absenteeism, and most people with Crohn's disease do not think that they are in excellent health or even very good health. Now, if you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease, it has a major impact on your quality of life moving forward. We usually diagnose it in younger people. The median age of diagnosis is only 30. So people are in their productive years, they're working, they've got jobs, they've got young families, and suddenly they're struck down by this condition. And sadly, with current treatment paradigms, we only get 10% of our patients into a long-term and sustained remission. And in fact,
what I'm going to be sharing with you is more how I grew up, because I didn't grow up with science of spices. I grew up with the tradition of spices, and later I searched for the science behind spices. And I was thinking before coming here that probably I must really dedicate this talk or this wisdom to my grandmother. Literally, it was a skills exchange between my grandmother when I was growing up, and I had just started studying, and my grandmother, who was then 86, was the only person in the family who was interested in my learning of anatomy. So we had to actually have a model of the skeleton and learn all the insertions and origins of muscles and all the arteries. The only person who showed any interest was my 86-year-old grandmother, who said, well, I like to learn about anatomy. And I said, at your age. Then we had a deal. I told my grandmother, only if you teach me how to cook and how to use spices. Because growing up in India, all that you had to do was to study law and become a doctor. And
stay awake in the wrong day. So I'm talking about the health of vegetarians and vegans, mostly findings from Epic Oxford. I'm also going to be showing some more recent data from the UK Biobank. Epic Oxford is a prospective cohort study. 65,000 people joined the study in the 1990s. we targeted recruitment of vegetarians and vegans. About half the people don't eat meat, and you can see the numbers there. The limitation certainly is the number of vegans is not as big as we would like. We really need a new study with 100,000 vegans. The other thing to bear in mind is a lot of what I'll show you is now a bit historical. They recruited in the mid-1990s, so getting on for 25 years ago. Dietary supplies of fortified food, for example, have changed a bit in this country. So they were recruited in the 90s. We've got repeat questionnaires. The main follow-up to follow their health is through linkage with the National Health Service, which is actually absolutely vital to get the data. And that gives us information on cancers, hospital episodes, and deaths. And some of the stuff I'll show you, we include data from the previous study run in Oxford, the Oxford Vegetarian Study.
Today, we've had a bit of a grandmother trend in the last few talks. So it turns out I have rather more in common with Dr. Michael Greger than I realised. I know we're both doctors. I know we're both vegans. We're both fairly obsessed with lifestyle medicine. According to his Wikipedia page, we're the same age. But I did not know until today that our lifestyle medicine careers both started because of our grandmothers. So, my story was when I was 5, I watched my grandmother smoking, and I hated it. I knew it was killing her. And so from the age of 5, I started hiding her cigarettes. And she didn't have a lot of money, she couldn't afford to replace these cigarettes. And every time I went to stay with her, I would hide her cigarettes because I was so desperate for her to quit. She never did. And one evening when I was 25, and it was Saturday evening, middle of summer, she and my grandfather said, please, you and your husband come round for dinner. Now I was 25 and I was, as you are, when you're 25, and I didn't want to go to my grandparents on Saturday night. That's what we did for Sunday lunch. And you went to have a party with your friends on Saturday night. But she talked me into it, and so reluctantly we went round for dinner, steak and chips as I remember, because I was a lonely boy back then. And we sat down for dinner, and she had a heart attack at the kitchen table and obliterated her left ventricle. I was an anaesthetist at the time, so I knew a lot about left ventricles, and I knew smoking was bad. I had no idea about nutrition, and there wasn't a specialist plant-based clinic we could take her to. So she didn't go on a whole food plant-based diet. She didn't jump out of a wheelchair 3 weeks later, and a couple of months later, she died of her resulting cardiac failure. So that was my grandmother, and that's what started my obsession with lifestyle medicine.
Es ist nass, es ist kalt, es ist dunkel, die VegMed ist vorbei. Es war ganz schön anstrengend. Wann ging das los? 9:30 Uhr, 9:15 Uhr bis 18:15 Uhr die ganze Zeit klugen Menschen zuzuhören. Gott sei Dank wusste ich vieles davon schon, sonst wäre es noch anstrengender gewesen. Und danach haben wir ein bisschen Gemüse gekauft und Obst, das ich jetzt hier mit mir rumtrage. Und sind jetzt logischerweise auf der Suche nach einem guten Restaurant, beziehungsweise wir haben in Google Maps eins gefunden und gehen da jetzt hin. So, wir sind im Redemption gelandet. Das ist ein rein veganes Lokal. Ich versuche jetzt das Gericht zu kriegen, wo am meisten Gemüse drin ist, weil ich ein Gemüsedefizit habe. Die Karte? Schauen wir mal. So, das ist jetzt mein Caesar Salad. Die Annette muss mir leuchten, weil es hier so total dunkel ist. Das ist Partei aus rohen Zucchini, davon wirst du nicht satt. Nee, aber ich habe auch gewusst. Ich gleich hier raus. Okay, das ist jetzt Abendessen. Das ist jetzt das Dessert, was ich auch nicht ausgeleuchtet kriege. Das ist ein Lime-Cheesecake, glaube ich. Wir haben einen für uns 2 gekauft, der ist sehr verteilt. Ich habe mich noch nie im Bett gefilmt, wisst ihr das? Andere YouTuber haben das schon gemacht, ich nie. So, der Tag ist vorbei. Ich liege im Bett. Ich hoffe, dass ich schlafen kann. Ich habe Ohrstöpsel. Und dann erkundigen wir morgen London. Im Regen wahrscheinlich. Also mal gucken. Gute Nacht.